Howdy, y'all. I'm out here in my yard. Sorry, guys. I'm out here in my yard, and hopefully my Wi-Fi doesn't give me too many issues. I'm not going too far from the house, just right here in front. So, but I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on before I get started crafting. I am here in Texas, Gulf Coast, Texas, just south of Houston. So I know that it is not green and gorgeous where most of y'all are this time of year, but here in Texas, we haven't really had a winter. It's just been very mild. We've had a couple of freezes, but no ice rain like was predicted, no crazy storms or anything like that. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting to not have to be in the depths of winter right now. Hey, Tracy. And you know, I'm loving it. I'm loving all of this. I'm going to come right around here and show y'all what I'm doing. But, oh, and of course, here comes the, oh, I have something. Here comes the, oh gosh, golly, what is that? Got something on my nose. Okay, the mailman is here. But I'm gonna flip this around and show y'all here. So what I've been doing is, I weeded most of this, and then I just went over it with some, landscaping fabric, and then I cut little holes and I put my pots, my little seed starting pots, in those holes. And so that's how we're doing this. And then once the seeds sprout, they get real big, it's going to be it's going to be funner, because then I'll just be able to pull those plants out of those pots and just stick the plant right back into the hole and let it grow big. So that's my plan. I had to plant things that are very heat resistant, because it's between my house and the sidewalk, and during the summer that area just turns into an oven. What on God's green earth? Is it Christmas? I've got several large packages. Are they for me? I hope. It's over. Sorry guys, my Wi-Fi is kind of in and out. Oh, thanks Liz. Let me go ahead and pop you guys into my little phone stand I have over here so that we can get to crafting. I have to be able to access it. Here we go. Sorry guys, y'all are seeing all my house mess. And we'll get the light turned on up in here. Oh, I knew I was gonna forget something. Okay. I'm here. I just really wanted to show y'all what I've been working on. My body aches like I'm about 90 years old right now because I've been working in the garden. Sorry guys. Little wiggles. Let's look and see what we got. Since y'all were here, since this package came in, let's just give it a look-see. Shall we? Hopefully my husband's not watching this. Hopefully I didn't like order underwear or something crazy. Oh, okay, so we are having an awards gala for our National Honor Society kids in my co-op, my homeschool co-op, and then we're doing senior awards the same night. And so I got some arch covers, some black arch covers, and then I got a big old pack of vacuum seal bags. These are only, I want to say, about $25 for 100 bags. This lasted me 2 years. I just purchased the same one that I got before. If you are a gardener, you really want to be having a vacuum sealer, because when you do your blanching and freezing, you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to dehydrate things and all that jazz. So get yourself some of these bags. They are 02 for La Pack. I don't know, vacuum sealer bags. That's the label. I don't know. Anyways, let me just set that down. All right, that's all I got. That big old box for that. Hello, Lori. Lori Henderson, how are you? Lavender and lace with Lori, and then we have Lori Henderson as well. Awesome. Both the Loris coming in at the same time. So today I have the sweetest little Yeehaw Meemaw craft you ever did see, y'all. So my sweet neighbor friend, I call her Nani. Her name is Bonnie. Her grandma name is Nani. And so, hello, Deb and Zimmy Simple Designs. How are y'all? She had given me a bunch of stuff over the winter that was just like scraps from her craft room. She is a crafter. Like, she is legit. All right. And she gave me her scraps and I was like, yes, I will take all the little extras. Whatever you've got, I'll take. So she gave me this bag that had like fabric pieces and stuff. And y'all, look at this. Some scrap filled like vintage quilt fabric. And look at those colors. Doesn't that just scream spring and grandma and biscuits and gravy and, you know, just sweet country tea sipping on the porch quilt. Hello, Angelica. I hope you're having an amazing day. Cindy, how are you? So I'm going to be using this, and then I also have this precious little embroidery circle. Okay, we have this, and then I also have more of these sweet little prints from Willow Heart Prints. Okay, so these are hers. She sent me 2 pieces of fabric. Okay, one of them I've already dug into. This is the Easter rabbit ones, the labels. This is the Velvet Rabbit Company. Goodness is timeless. Just all kinds of cute little rabbit things, which I love rabbits year round. We don't really do like Easter around here, but we do spring and we do bunnies. I love bunnies and their sweet little nose. And we raise rabbits. So we do some bunny things around here. But we are first and foremost Christians. Right? We love the Lord with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. And I just think these are so precious. So we are going to incorporate these precious, at least one of them. I'm thinking the one that says, so now faith, hope, and love abide, these 3. But the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13. Wouldn't that be so precious hanging on a wall with some vintage quilt? You know, when somebody puts something like this together, they do it with love in their heart and joy, right? So I'm just, yes, I'm loving the whole idea of this. But you know what? I forgot my little bucket of paints. Hey, Lily, will you run into the back and get me a bucket of paints, please? Right next to the computer. Because I want to give this a little paint, a little painting on the rim. I like the natural look, but I think that we can make it just a little bit more flamboyant. Yes, a little bit more yeehaw. Hi, Glenda. I love the name Glenda. Just the way it rolls off my tongue. I love it. Yes, in the sunroom, please, ma'am. In the far yonder back where all the things go to be stored in a very complicated and unorganized manner. Okay. I don't know if everybody has a room where it's like, oh, company's coming over, we need to quickly shove all the piles of stuff into a room. My sunroom is that room here at my house. I'm not proud of it, but it's just a fact of life. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. She brought me my paints. Okay. Let's see. Let's get started. Let's just roll on into this. All right. I hope I was able to give you guys some ideas for your garden or some inspiration, because you know that flower bed is sitting out there and it's a huge flower bed. Thank you. And it's just been going to waste. I didn't do anything with it last year or the year before that, and I just felt like it was really going to waste. Prior to that, I was letting the goldenrod grow in it because I do harvest goldenrod for like making tinctures, because it's really good for like allergies and stuff. But I'm really needing another garden bed, and so I went ahead and tilled up all of, but goldenrod is goldenrod. I really doubt I got it all, and I'm sure I will still have, I'm going to be pulling goldenrod out for the longest time. So anyways, I'm just trying to think of what colors am I looking at? I really love the teal and pink. And then, but I also love like the denim colors. So I'm kind of trying to see what would be best here. Oh, this Rafi is wanting, it wants me. Let's see, there's that, and there's this, and there's this. I really think, because I brought out some denim ribbon. Let's see, because I want to put a little bow on it. I want to see. I think that the denim would go okay with the teal. Yes? Yes, yes, I think so. I think that's what we're gonna do. I just love the brightness of it. And I think that it would be gorgeous hanging in my living room. I have half of somebody's back door hanging up in my living room. Just the glass half, you know, on the really old houses, the back doors were just very plain, and it just had the simple glass window. Somebody was doing some renovating near a church that I was using for co-op that year, and I went over there because they had that door by the side of the road, and I said, hold it. So what are you doing with that? And he was like, well, I'm tossing it. And I was like, can you just cut this for me? He's like, sure, where do you want it cut? And so he cut it in half for me, and I made a new best friend. Okay, so here's my dilemma. Do I want to cut off this cuteness of the little zigzag petals, or I'm thinking I really need that in there. I do. I really feel like I need that in there. I'm just hoping that the label's not going to be too big. I think that I can fray the label and get it in, like get this fabric as small as possible so that you can see a good amount of that background. So I'm not going to cut right along this circle because I need some to be folded over. So I'm just going to, y'all don't cringe. I cringe every time I cut something like this, but this is already cut. I do have a piece, it's in my car right now, that is just finished. It's just like a little lap quilt. And I took it to co-op with us last week for 100 days of school because I dressed up like a Meemaw. Oh, hello. Oh, thanks, Miss Brenda. All right, so let me just cut right into this. All right, I'm gonna cut around. And again, I'm leaving just a little bit around the edge so that I can bend it over into the frame so it'll cinch on in. And we'll just do like that. And there's our little circle. Hopefully I did it right. Ah! You know, when fabric moves around and stuff, you just never know if you got it right. All right. Move this off to the side. Okay. I think that's going to be precious. Okay. Let's see. I just want to look and see how it's going to look before we pick out a color to paint this little, to paint the outside frame. So let's see. Okay, what color do we want? What color? We've got the turquoises, which I think this one would probably be the closest, or we could do, I even have like a crackle finish over finish that, like, you do this and then you do that and it kind of crackles, and then you just go over it with like some oxide or something to get into the cracks, so you can see that might be really pretty on there. We could do white. We could do like a cream, an antique. Ooh, antique would be really pretty. Oh gosh, y'all. What do we think? Teal or cream? Let's hear it. Teal or cream? Y'all pick. I can't decide. Teal or cream? No. Teal or cream? Come on, guys. I need y'all to tell me, because I'm not going to be able to decide. I will just go back and forth all day long. Let me see what we're going to use to paint this with. I think probably just, I don't have much close to me right now. I was like, oh, I don't need to really do much. This one's probably better, because I already had stuff sitting out from when I went live the other day. Cream. Okay, great. Let's see. Oh, one for teal. Oh gosh, teal's in the run-in. See. Let's see. Cream. Teal. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think the teal has taken it. All right, we're gonna do the teal. Safe me would say cream, but you know, if it doesn't look right, I can always go back and paint over it with the cream. So I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, so as I was saying about that door, I am thinking, because right now I just have the door, like, it's just hanging on my wall, and you can see the wall behind it, and it's a very sweet little interest piece in my house. But I was thinking, how cool would it be to put like plates and things behind it, some little vintage plates and wall hangers and things. And so, like, let's see here, this that I had made recently, I want to put that up there, and I think that this next to it would be so cute, just showcasing some sweet little skills, right? Some vintage skills. I think that would be darling in a display with a bunch of vintage plates and plaques and things. I have a plaque that I've had forever. It came from a yard sale, and it's so sweet. I love it. It gives the best marriage advice ever. It says to keep your cup brimming with love. If you're wrong, admit it. If you're right, shut up. I was like, man, that is some great advice. That is just great advice. All right, just a little bit more. Okay. A little bit more of that paint going on here. I'm loving this color. It's very spring. It's, I'm just ready to be growing some things, y'all. So in those pots that I have outside, I planted jalapenos, red bell pepper, and okra. And there's a lot in there. Once I am able to take them out of their pots and get them into the ground, after that process happens, then I will go ahead and mulch, because that's going to keep the roots moist and keep from overcooking them, so they don't, because even though they are heat like hardy, they're not gonna live if their roots cook to death. So I have to be mindful of that. So once I get that done, are you going somewhere? Where are you going? Are you getting me the spring rolls? Oh, okay. Buy me something pretty. Just kidding. It's my son. He's going to Walmart. Hello, Miss Judy. How are you? Isn't that pretty? I think y'all made a wonderful choice with this teal. I really do. I think that's going to be just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. So, got that. And these are so like common. You can find them at Walmart. Now, I don't know if you can find wooden ones at Walmart. I've only seen plastic ones recently. So, hopefully you can find some, but if not, yard sales and things of that nature, you can usually find these little embroidery hoops. But I think that color is just so pretty. So pretty. And I know that the garden isn't looking like much right now, but you know, when you first looked at a piece of art, sometimes you're like, oh, I guess we're just gonna trust the process with this, right? I mean, you don't always understand it, especially if you're not the artist. And I believe it's the same thing with gardening and landscaping and all that stuff. Like, you've got to make a mess to make something beautiful. You've got to pull out those weeds. Oh, hello there, Mama B. How are you? If y'all don't know, in my videos, I'm always saying hi to Mama B. That is Miss Brenda from Totally Together Crafting by Brenda. And she is my spirit animal. I love her to pieces. And so she has adopted me. And I've adopted her back. She's my crafting mama. Give this a little bit of a dry. And so, as usual, after I'm done with my live, we're running out of here like mad. We've got a 4-H meeting tonight for the club, and the girls have to make something. And so this month it is a Valentine's Day inspired dish. So the older one, my Lily, is making, she's making spaghetti. It's very Lady and the Tramp, you know. But she's doing spaghetti and meat sauce, not meatballs. And then Arabella is making focaccia. So it's going to be delicious. And you know, normally at these meetings we just do like desserts, but I'm like, y'all need to not just eat cookies and cakes for dinner on 4-H nights. So that's what we'll be doing as soon as I hop off of here. They're gonna get to cooking, getting everything, and I'm just going to press this right on. Oh, I think I tightened it too much. Here, pull this off. I kind of want it to be tight because I'm gonna get that other piece of fabric on here, but I don't want it to be so tight that I can't get it on. Let's see. Oh, There we go. Nope. It just popped off from the other side. Nope. Okay. I need to open it up a little bit more. Trying to keep it to where it's tight, but it'll still go on. Let's try this again. There we go. Oh, and then I'll just tighten this up like this. Okay, so I still have some hanging off over here. It's not really under right here. I could adjust it, but I don't think that it's worth my while, so I'm going to just trim this off. I'm gonna go around here and trim all these little bits off. Let's see. So the girls are excited because they always get cookies and desserts on 4-H night, and I do too. I really shouldn't eat it, but it's so delicious. So delicious. Let's see. Miss Arabella. I saw a message come through on my phone. Does your phone do that? Has anybody else been having phone trouble today? I can't even like make a phone call. Hey, Miss Melissa texted me. Would you call McKenna and find out what's going on? Because she had texted me and I can't respond to her right now, and it looked like she was asking a question about taking food tonight. All right. Oop. Let's try not to get this in the paint. I'm just gonna cut it somewhat close to the writing. I'm just gonna kind of shape it with the print. Right here. I think this is just gonna be so darling. I love little things that have scripture. It's so good to be surrounded by the Word of God. And I will tell you why. And I had this revelation last night during evening service. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word. And God was the Word, right? He is the Word. And so I'm like, you know what? Surrounding myself with His Word is surrounding myself with Him. Isn't that something? I'm literally using an emery board. A Dollar Tree emery board. They work. If they can file your nails, they can file your fabric. And then it's not big and bulky. And what?
She asked if it would be okay to bake cookies at church tomorrow.
At church tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But not tonight. At the church we're going to be at, we can't use that kitchen.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I just want to be sure. Because tonight's the cooking. Tonight we're cooking. Or tonight we're taking food. Things aren't coming out. I'm not seeing many comments come through. I see some come through, but I know I'm missing comments. Facebook is filtering out comments for me. They like to protect me from all the comments from my lovely friends. They have no idea that they are gumming up the works. So, just so you know, I'm not ignoring you. I love you all. I would never ignore you. Facebook is just working against me. Okay, so that's what I've done. I've just kind of frayed it and made it a little rough around the edges, just like that old rugged cross, right? On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, emblem of suffering and shame. Hello, Hello, Cynthia, Jessica. Oh, good, Lori, you're there. Aw, thank you, Jessica. And I love that old cross. Oh, gosh. Don't start crying. So my stepdad's dad, my grandpa, passed away last year. And in February, we had gone to see my mom. She was struggling with some health issues and stuff. And so he lived right next door to them. And we would go over there to see him. And while we were there, that was one of the songs that I sang for him. The old rugged cross. Hello. Oh, thank you, Danelle. That's pretty. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, isn't it just so precious? I'm just gonna hot glue it on there. You could probably Mod Podge it or even just use like a strip of fabric. If I would have left more like of the edge, you could even like stitch around this with some of that thicker like stitching string thread. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called. It's like a yarn thread, right? Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, it is such a precious song. I love it so much. And so I didn't grow up going to like a traditional church. My grandmother would take me on occasion to a Catholic church. And now I go to an Assemblies of God church, which is definitely not Catholic. And the pastor there used to run a cowboy church. He was a cowboy church pastor for many years. And so that's one of the songs that he sang when we first started going there. And gosh golly, it just grabbed up my soul, and tears every time. Oh, thank you, Tina. That is so sweet. Oh, thank you. So I'm just waiting for this guy to heat up. I have it on low. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up to high. While that is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and do the crackle. Do some little crackle. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. I need you to bring me that cookbook so I can show you where the recipe is. Yes, right now, ma'am. She's needing to start the focaccia because that's got to, rise and stuff, and we are on very limited time before we have to leave for the meeting. So I want to make sure. Okay, so if y'all don't have a cookbook that's coming apart at the edges, what are you gonna leave your daughters? This cookbook, literally, the girls fight about it now of who's gonna get my cookbook when I'm no longer here, because this has been our family recipe book since the beginning. I can't even remember. I think I bought it for myself at a Walmart when I was young and married and needing some good recipes, but my mom always had one, and she was like, just get you one of those Betty Crocker's or Good Housekeeping, either one will work. And so I kind of go back and forth. I just call this my Betty Crocker book. It's not even Betty. It's Better Homes and Gardens. But it has such great recipes. And really, when it comes to weddings and things like that, this is what I like to gift. If I can find it, I will gift this. Okay, here's your focaccia. And so she's already made her starter. And so we're just going to go along with the focaccia recipe in this book. There you go, ma'am. If you have any questions, just let me know. I am here, right there, focaccia. I know it's a funny word. She's like, which one is it? Yes, it is the best cookbook. They better start. Yes, they do. We need to just scan the pages that have the recipes that they love the most. But I am working on like an actual kind of, I call it like a Christian homemaker's guide to homemaking a homemade home, because that's what I say. You know, we homemake a homemade home. Read the instructions. You cannot just read the recipe. I learned that when I was about your age. If you do not read the instructions before you just start putting things in a bowl, you're gonna find yourself in a world of trouble. I think we all found that out, haven't we, ladies? That we've all done it. We've all just stuck things in a bowl and been, oh no, what did I just do? And I only had that much of that ingredient. And then all of a sudden you're making something else. Okay. So I'm just gonna crackle that up a bit and we'll see. I've only used this one other time. It gives a very subtle crackle. And you will not see it if you don't put something in there, either some mica powder or something, because it is a very fine crackle, like an antique crackle. Yes, I really should. Absolutely, a lifetime in my kid's heart. And that's what I really, that's what's important to me. And I was talking to my girls about my podcast, because I do these stories called The Warm Loaf, and I read them into the podcast and record them and everything. And my girls were listening to them, and they were, you know, joking around, laughing about my different voices and stuff. And then it was like we all came to the realization that this is something that's going to stay forever, and that my grandkids will be able to listen to me telling them stories, even if I'm not here. My great-grandkids, my great-great-grandkids will be able to listen to my stories because I've read them into this format. And, oh gosh, I'm a mess today, y'all. I'm just gonna cry this whole time. And so, you know, that is just so important to me, you know, that heritage. And, you know, my only heritage is the one that I have in Christ, right? Like my inheritance, not heritage.
Yeah, can I just into a bowl?
You can pour it directly into the measuring cup, however much you need of it. Well, you need to read your instructions, my love. And so, you know, my inheritance, my only inheritance is what I have in Christ. I don't come from money, you know, I don't have any worldly inheritance. But my children, and you know, we still don't have money. We are not a wealthy family, but my children will have the inheritance of these heirlooms. And some of them will actually be my voice. And it just means so much to me that that they'll have that, and I'm just so happy for it. Oh, thank you. I hope not. I definitely hope not, Dee Dee. We are due for Jesus. You know, sometimes I just look at the world and, you know, I know that I have friends who say, Jesus, please wait. There are still too many unsaved. We need more time. But at the same time, I look at this world and some of the things that are happening, and here, hand it to me. And I'm just, it just breaks my heart. It does. It breaks my heart. And it makes me think Jesus needs to come now. You know, we are getting further and further into like the days of Noah type situation where the depravity and things. One of my friends was out door dashing the other day, and she had just missed a situation where some people were being absolutely filthy in the parking lot, and everyone could see from the restaurant. And there was only one lady in the restaurant who stood up and said, "This is filthy and disgusting and wrong." And everyone else was just like, "Ooh," you know. And so it just shows the level of depravity that we are in, you know, what's going on in the world, and it just breaks my heart. Okay, so just literally follow it step by step. In a mixing bowl, combine 1/2 cup of flour with 1/2 cup warm water, and it says the yeast. So 1 teaspoon active dry yeast. Go ahead with that, okay? No, but you're gonna do that in a separate bowl, okay? We're gonna add the starter in after that. So, all right. Let me get there. So, I don't want to go too far into that, but yes, no, hopefully the Lord, you know, hears the cries of our hearts, and I know He knows better than any of us, but some of these things here that we're being exposed to, and our children are being exposed to, and it's just heartbreaking. I put this off to the side because that's actually where I'm going to attach the bow. So you want to keep that in mind when you are putting on your fabric and arranging things. But that's how that's looking right now. Isn't that precious? So now faith, hope, and love abide. These 3, but the greatest of these is love. Yes. I'm hoping that this live is increasing your faith, because faith comes from hearing the word. Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get some of this. And I don't do bow makers, but when I use this bigger ribbon, it makes me wish I did. But I'm wanting to kind of figure out here, because I want to use the raffia with it. I want to use the raffia along with it. I think the raffia is such a precious way to add country and vintage in one fell swoop. Just a little bit of vintage country charm in with, okay, let's see. I don't know if I can do it all at once, or if I need to stack it, or if I need to, and I'm getting stuff all over me. Let's see here. I'm thinking. I might have to, we're just going to try it. We're going to try it, and we're going to go for it. Let's see. And I love that old cross. Okay, come on. All my little friends here, come on through. So yesterday, if you had seen my reel that I put out, I let my chickens out the yard. And I don't usually let my chickens out of the backyard because we have dogs, and I know certain dogs we cannot trust, and even the ones that we can usually trust, you know, when everyone else is being bad, it just looks like too much fun to resist. So, we usually don't let them out, but I let them out yesterday to clear that little edge of garden bed, or a flower bed. It's usually flower bed, now it's garden bed. And it really worked. it really worked out great. Okay, I'll be right there, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I will help you in just a few minutes. Why don't you go ahead and get the oven going? Preheat it to 375, please. Let's see here. So I'm just dovetailing those ribbon ends. And adjust, adjust, adjust. You know how it is with bows. You just adjust until it's just how you want it. Okay, I think this one's just a little bit shorter. I'm going to take a little bit more off of here. And it's okay if it's not perfect. I know none of us are. Take that extra off there. Oh my goodness gracious. That is looking so darling. Okay, I've got 1 minute. Let's get this on here. I just want to thank you all for being with me today through all my crazy crying bits. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just going to cry. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your Monday. I hope you will go back into Craft Around the Clock. If you are not in that group, please join. It's a free group, amazing women, and they are all just precious to my heart. So definitely go back in there and join. Refresh the page and see who's next. Thanks for being here with me today, and thank you for homemaking a homemade home with me today. I will see you all maybe Friday. I hope. All right. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys.